Pa mislim da pozicija sestre Tereze nije po ničemu neobična, osim što je nama u Hrvatskoj pomalo neobična, jer eto, crkva se najčešće vezuje uz neku vrstu konzervativnih stavova i slično. Međutim, tradicija koju zagovara sestra Tereza je tradicija teologije oslobođenja, koja je prilično prisutna po Latinskoj Americi, također ima utjecaja i po Europi. A što se tiče konkretno njene pozicije unutar Hrvatske danas, mislim da je ona važna zato jer pokazuje da crkveni nauk može ići uz socijalnu osjetljivost, uz solidarnost, uz kritiku, žestoku kritiku kapitalizma i da zapravo ta crkva kao jedna od najjačih institucija i dalje danas može imati i takako progresivnu funkciju u društvu, što u Hrvatskoj baš nije uvijek slučaj.
Možemo li reći da to je ista tradicija s koje dolazi sestra Tereza kao i aktualni papa?
Jeste, to je zapravo ista tradicija, pa vidite da i aktualni papa sve češće govori eksplicitno protiv kapitalizma, upozorava na sve veću rastuću nejednakost koja je direktno vezana uz ovaj ekonomski sustav. Dakle, vidimo da se u crkvi nešto mijenja. Ne bih ja rekao da su papa i Tereza na istim pozicijama, da pače sestra Tereza vrlo često zna imati problema zbog svojih stavova, međutim, zanimljivo je gledati na koji način, evo i papa je recimo o imigrantima koji su poginuli zadnjih dana na obalama Europe u ovolikom broju, također imaju jako pozitivne izjave. Dakle, crkva danas može biti progresivna institucija, na nama svima je da zapravo i na vjernicima da mijenjaju tu crkvu iznutra.
Ideja je zapravo od početka bila, kad smo počeli, željeli smo Terezu dovesti, međutim, planirali smo da neće doći. Naprosto zato što znamo koliko je zaposlena. Međutim, pokušali smo, upoznao sam je prošle godine u Šibeniku na festivalu Fališ, gdje je došla, održala odlično predavanje i ogroman interes medija je imala, tako da smo je uputili poziv i onda je došla. Teresa Forcades po mnogo čemu vrlo specifična i nesvakidašnja časna sestra. Prije svega zbog toga što je u časne ušla sa 31 godinom, a drugo, a tome ćemo razgovarati poslije s njom, zbog toga što je zaista radikalna kritičarka kapitalizma i lijeva aktivistica, što je također vrlo zanimljivo i specifično. Doktorirala je i medicinu i teologiju, tako da nije samo aktivistica, vrlo dobro zna o čemu priča i mnogi je smatraju ikonom europske ljevice i jednom od najznačajnijih teoretičarki europske ljevice danas.
The debt in Spain was 19% debt was public debt. 81% was private debt. This 19% public debt was below the European median. So when you hear that in Spain the people just earned or spent more than they had, or in Greece, but I don't know the exact numbers for Greece, but in Spain I can give you the right numbers. This is not true, it doesn't correspond to reality. 19% were private, public, 81% private. Of this private debt, of course some of it was of people that just bought something in installments, right? So that's of course part of the debt if you have a mortgage. But more than 90% of the private debt was from banks and big corporations. The state decided that this debt now it will be into the public sphere. And we needed then money to pay for that. This money comes from the European Central Bank. But the European Union has a regulation that says the money cannot come directly from the European Central Bank to the country that needs the money. Even though this money is of course money that came from the country, so from each person, because from wherever does the bank get the money. It cannot do that. It needs to go first to a banking intermediate institution. And you could think, okay, so it just makes a detour, but basically it ends up where it should. No, there is a difference. When the money goes from the European Central Bank to the intermediate financing institution, the interest rate is 1%. And when it goes from the intermediate banking institution to the state that has problems, the interest rate is 6%. So in the very rescue mechanism of a European Union that is having an alarm at the social level, it's similar to what I have explained about the pharmaceutical companies. So this is not an isolated example. That's how it works. That's why it's the system what's corrupt and not the people, some of the people, but also it's true. So in the very system that's supposed to be rescuing the people in need, you build in a mechanism for transferring money from these people directly to the richest institution. This is what my first thing to say. The Adam Smith, we could discuss at the economical level what exactly meant Adam Smith when he talked about it, but the truth is that it is outrageous to invocate or talk about the invisible hand when you institute mechanisms that are redistributing the wealth at greater speed and in the wrong direction. I am completely sure, I back up the Pope in that, and of course many others have said it before him, that capitalism in itself and by its own definition kills, and it's based on exploitation and killing. I don't believe that religion is that the case, but of course I acknowledge that religion has killed, that religion wars have existed, and that there is a potential in religion for killing. Like there is, you could say, a potential in intimate relationships to become violent. That's true too. And it's very important, it's not a minor thing. You can violate, okay? Like rape. You can rape, and you can beat, and you can do all kinds of horrible things, and they are to be denounced, and they are to be open, and they are to be exposed, and laws have to be persecuting that. But I don't believe intimate relationships are inherently evil, are inherently violent. I believe intimate relationships can be a beautiful thing. I believe religion can be a beautiful thing, and in the history there are many examples of beautiful intimate relationships, of beautiful religious attitudes and people. I can see in the history there are any examples of beautiful capitalism.